There are moments when time disappears, when the gap between thinking and doing closes completely, when the work moves through you rather than from you. You have felt it, maybe only once, maybe only for a few minutes, but you remember it, because nothing else feels quite like it. That state has a name. Psychologists spent decades studying it. They called it flow. And what they found was not what most people expect. Most people think flow is something that happens to them. A lucky accident, a good day, the right conditions aligning by chance. It is not. Flow is a state that can be engineered, not forced. You cannot force it, but you can build the conditions in which it becomes almost inevitable. It's described as the optimal experience, a state in which a person is so fully absorbed in a challenging activity that everything else, time, self-consciousness, distraction, simply ceases to register. Brain, in flow, is not working harder. It is working cleaner. Less noise, more signal. Prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-monitoring and self-doubt, quietens down, and what is left is pure, uninterrupted execution. It is the closest the human mind comes to effortless mastery, and almost no one knows how to reliably reach it. Before you can build toward flow, you need to understand what destroys it. The first enemy is fragmentation. The modern environment is not designed for depth. It is designed for interruption. The average person switches tasks every 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and after each interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes to return to full focus. Do the maths. If you're interrupted twice an hour, you never actually focus. Not once. You spend the entire hour in the shallow end believing that you're swimming. The second enemy is anxiety without challenge. Flow lives in a precise corridor. Too easy and the mind drifts. Too hard and the mind panics. The state requires a task that sits at the edge of your current ability. Not comfortable, not overwhelming, just right at the boundary. And the third enemy, the one no one talks about, is the self, the internal narrator, the part of the mind that watches you work and offers commentary. That was a good line. Is this actually any good? What if this fails? Flow requires the temporary dissolution of that voice. Not suppression, dissolution. The difference between the two is everything. So how do you build towards it? You begin with the environment. Not motivation and not willpower, just the environment. Because the environment is the mind's first signal about what kind of thinking is expected here. A cluttered space signals scattered thinking. A phone within reach signals that interruption is permitted. A space designed for depth, minimal, quiet, stripped of anything that does not serve the work, signals something different. It tells the brain, this is the place where we go deep. The brain believes what the environment tells it. Then you begin with a ritual, not a complicated one. The same sequence of small actions, performed in the same order, every single time before you begin deep work. The same music, the same drink, the same act of writing one sentence before you write the rest. The purpose of the ritual is not superstition, it's neurology. Rituals create conditioned responses. Do the same thing before flow often enough, and the ritual becomes the trigger. The brain learns, when this sequence begins, the state follows. Then you protect the session. 90 minutes minimum. No phone, no notifications, no quick checks. Not because discipline is impressive, but because flow takes approximately 15 minutes to arrive after deep focus begins. If you break concentration every 12 minutes, you never get there. You're not protecting the time, you're protecting the threshold. Flow does not announce itself. That is the thing nobody tells you. You do not feel it arriving. One moment you are working, aware of yourself working, and then, without a seam, you're simply in it. The self-consciousness is gone. Time has changed shape. The work is moving. And the only way to lose it is to notice it. The moment you think, I'm in flow right now, you've already left. This is why practice is not about achieving the state. It is about creating the conditions and then releasing the need to confirm that they are working. You prepare carefully. You begin deliberately, and then you let go of the outcome completely. That surrender, the willingness to trust the process without monitoring the process, is the final condition. And that is the hardest one. Because the mind that wants flow is the same mind that has to get out of its own way to reach it. The best work of your life is not waiting for inspiration. It is not waiting for the right day, the right conditions, the right feeling. It is waiting for you to build the space in which it can exist. The environment, the ritual, the protected time, the release. 4 things. Not complicated, but not easy. The people who do their best work consistently, who produce things that outlast the moment they were made in, they are not more talented than you. They are more deliberate about the conditions under which they create. Flow is not a gift. It is a practice. And like every practice, it belongs to anyone willing to show up for it.